Hello and welcome to the Simon YouTube channel. As you know, Telegram has released a revolutionary update for Telegram bots. You can connect your web applications to your bot. And I have an example here. This is the official example from Telegram document. If you click order food, a window will pop up and you can see something like a menu. You can choose from it. You can add, remove, view order, and finally you can pay it. It will send you a pay link. And if you click it, it will redirect you to the pay link. I'm going to create a crash course for making this amazing bot using React. If you are interested, please make sure to subscribe my channel.
Hello and welcome back to the Simon YouTube channel. Today we are going to build a Telegram bot that you can connect it to a web app, or maybe connect your web app to the Telegram bot. Here are the steps that we have to follow. We are going to build this using React, so you have to download Node.js. We need VS Code. You can use any text editor that you want, but we are going to use VS Code. Create React app, build button component, build cart component, build cart component, and finally deploy it on Netlify. This is the front end, and for the backend we only have to write many lines of code. It's not too much, but it's easy, I promise. Alright, you can download Node.js from nodejs.org, download the latest version, and download the VS Code from here. Okay, I've already installed the Node.js and VS Code. Open a new folder in VS Code and type npx create react app. I've already done this. I have the project already, and after that you have to type npm start. Okay, this is the project. This is the base project, the boilerplate of React. We are going to edit this, and okay, we have to delete some of these files. Delete this one, delete this one, the logo, app test, and all of this, and finally delete this, and okay, also delete this. We don't need this, and yeah, okay, let's refresh this. Oh, we are importing logo in app.js. Remove this. Okay, that's our React project. The first step is to creating our components. Create a new folder and type components. Okay, in this we have button, and we have two files, button.jsx and button.css. I forgot to tell you, you have to download another extension, snippet codes for React. Where is it? Snippet code. ES7. Yeah, that's it. ES7 React Redux. Download and install it. It's very handy. Okay. In the button component, type RFCE. Hit enter. It will make this for us. Let's test this and import it in our app.js, the main file. Import button from components button. Let's see button. Okay. Yeah, this is our button component. Let's make it like a real button. Okay, let's import the CSS file. Import button.css. Okay, let's remove it and create a button element. So we have to render the class name dynamically, so I'm going to write it conditionally. We have a class for all the buttons called btn, and we have 3 other class name for different buttons. One for the add button, another one for remove button, and finally for the checkout button. Okay, we get type of the button from here. We get type from our props. Okay, if the type equal to app, then add the add class name. If the type equals to remove, then we have to add remove class name. If the type equals to checkout, we have to add the checkout class name. Checkout. Okay. And finally, we have to add title. We need title, right? Title. We put title here. Title. Okay. And we need disabled. Disable. For enable and disabling the button, we need to pass the disable here. Disable to disabled. All right. The next thing we want is we pass a function to this button called onClick, and for onClick we pass the onClick. Okay, let's go back to the app.js, the main file. If you hit Control and space, you can see the suggestion. We have these 5 items. We pass title. Okay, the title is test, disabled is false. The unclick, we will add it later. Okay, you can see what we built. Yeah, you can see the button component. All right, let's go to CSS. I define a route. I define primary color. I define primary color here. Primary color E0 C52 1. Okay, for the class btn that we passed here, this one, we need to add padding 0.6 rem for the vertical and 0.8 rem for horizontal. Font size to 1.2 rem. Text align center. Border none. We need no border. Outline to none. Oh, none. Border radius 10 pixel. The width 120 pixel. Margin left 10 pixel. Box shadow to 1 pixel minus 3 pixel, 52 pixel minus 5 pixel. RGBA 0 0 0, and for the opacity this. Okay, cursor to pointer. All right, the next class is the add class name. If we have a button that has btn class and also it has the add class, the both of them. The background color for the add button is a green background, RGB, or we can use the primary color. Yeah, we can use the primary color. Okay, the next class is btn.remove. btn.remove background color to tomato. The next one, btn.checkout, background color to RGB 38, 121, and 38. Okay, with 150 pixel. Color, the text color is white, and font size, the font size is 14 pixel. Okay, for active, when we click a button, this will change the scale of the button. Transform scale 0.98. You can see here, if I click it, it's transforming this from scale 1 to 0.98. That's cool. Okay, for btn add and hover. For the hover effect, I'm going to add a background color to CAB 32 and 0. btn dot add dot active colon active. Okay. Background color to AD9A1C. Okay. The next one is btn.remove, and for the hover effect, I'm going to change the background color to RGB 209 83 61. Let me just copy this and change it to active, and the color for active 185 73 and 54. Okay, and finally for the checkout button that checkout, for the hover effect, I'm going to change the background color to RGB 30 41 141 and 41. Let's add the active. For the active, let's add 30 93 and 41. Okay, let's go back to the main file and type, pass the type. Okay, add, remove, and check out. Let's see what we built. Change the type, change the title, add, remove, and check out. Okay, let's see. That's cool. Okay, we have these 3 buttons. Let's go for the next component. The next component is card. The next component is card, but before that we have to add data to the app. In the source folder, create a folder called db and db.js. Okay. We need photos. I put this images folder in the you can download it from the link below. It's a GitHub link. You can download all these files. Okay, let's add this folder to the source folder. Okay, open the db.js and type this. We have to import images from this folder. Import pizza image from images slash pizza.png. Import burger image from images slash burger.png. Okay, we have to export a function called get data. Export function get data, and we return these elements, these items. Item title pizza, price, and image is an image. Okay, let's add all these items. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, the second one is burger. Change the price to 15. Burger image. Next, Coca. Change it to 3.5. Coca image. The next one is salad, kebab. Salad 2.5. Salad image. Bottle of water. And the final one, the final ice cream. $2.99 ice cream. Okay, let me change this. So in the app.js we have to add this function here. Const. What am I doing? /db get data. Okay, now we have data. Next we have to build the card component. Alright, the next component that we are building is card components. Let's create a card folder, and inside of it we have two files, card.jsx and card.css. Card.css. Okay, let's go and type rfce, create a functional component, and let's import the CSS file. Import card.css. Let's import it here. Import card from components card. Let's show the card here. Okay, what do we have here? We have the card components. Okay, let's go for styling, and I have to show you something in here. When we add this button, before clicking on this button, we have no badge here. Okay, as soon as we click on add button, the badge will be appear here. Okay, we can handle this using where is the card? Okay, we can handle this using use state. Okay, here we have to set the count. Let's define the count and set count to use state 0. Okay, we will use this inside the card component. Okay, let's add a class name card. Inside of it we have a span with a class name. Okay, the class name is dynamic because when we have no items, for example, I have 2 ice cream here. When I have 0 ice cream, there is no badge here. As soon as we add ice cream or any other items, this span will pop up. Okay, but before that it's hidden. So let's add this dynamically. When the count, if the count is not equal to 0, it means we have more than at least we have 1 item. Let's add the card badge class. Otherwise, let's add card badge hidden, this class name. Okay, inside of this span we have the count. Okay, let's go. We have to, what's this? We have to pass information from here, the app.js file. Let's import the get data function from db right here. We defined. Okay, let's get all foods. Const foods equal to get data. Okay, now we have all the foods here. Let's render this dynamically. For each food inside of this array, we have to render a card. Okay, let's add foods.map. For each food we have to return a card. What's the problem? Let's see. Oh, okay. For each food we have to return a card, and we have to pass the food to the card component. And for each card we need an ID or key. We need a key. We can set this to food.id. Okay, let's go to the card and get the food here. Get the food. We can destructure the food object and extract the items that we need. Okay, what do we have here? We have title, we have image, we have price, and ID. Okay, after the span we have an image container. Image container. Inside of it we have an image. Okay, what's the source? The source is the image that we get from the props. This is the image. I'm sorry. And for alt we can pass the title. All right. After the image we have an h4 for the card title. Let's add a class name, card title. And inside of it we have the title of the food, and next to it we have an span with class name of card price. This span is separating this price from the title. Okay, and inside of it we have the price. Okay, after the price and title we have two buttons here. We have two buttons. It's a button container. In the button container we have two buttons, but it's rendering conditionally. If we have no items here, if the item is 0, if the count is 0, we have no remove button. But when we have one or more counts, then we have the remove and the add button. Okay, let's add the btn container. And let's add the button. Let's import the button here. Let's import the button component. Okay, here we have a button. Okay, what's the title? The title is plus. What's the type? The type is add, and we have to pass a function for when we click on the button, this function will be fired. Okay, let's define the increment const handle increment function. Okay, this is the increment function. Let's set count and add 1 to the previous count. Okay, let's duplicate this and handle decrement. Okay, unclick. For the unclick, we have handle increment. Okay, we have to render the remove button dynamically. So here, if the count is not equal to 0, it means we have one or more items, then we have to render a button. What's the title? The title is minus. What's the type? The type is remove. And for unclick we have handle decrement function. Okay, otherwise we are checking if the count is not 0. If the count is not 0, then we have to render a button. Otherwise we render or return nothing, an empty string. Okay, let's go for styling card.css. Okay, let's define a primary color here. Primary color E0 C52 1. This is the primary color. Okay, for the button class we have to set the display to flex, because not the button, the card. We have to set the display to flex because we want to, let's change the flex direction to column. We change the display to flex because we want to show the items in a column. Okay, let's add the justify content to space between. We have space between these items, between the image container, the title container, and the button container. We have a space between these items. Okay, let's move on. We have a width of 150 pixel, height of 250 pixel. We have border 2 pixels, solid, and primary color. Let's add padding. We have 0.5 rem for vertical and 0.3 rem for horizontal. Let's add margin. We have 13 pixels and 10 pixel. And position is relative because I set the position to relative because inside of the card we have elements that we want to change the position to absolute. For example, this span here, the position is absolute. Okay, the parent element should be relative. Okay, let's go for card title. The font weight is 400. Text align to center. Card title dot card price. This is the span that we defined here. Card price. This one. We are targeting that. So we have font weight bold. Okay. Image container. Image container Let's add a width of 100 pixel and height of 100 pixel. Margin, set the margin to 0 and auto. We can center this item using this margin. Look, this is the center. It's in the middle. Okay. And the image itself should be like this, width of 100%. What's this 100%? This 100% is 100% of the container, 100% of its parent. Okay, that is 100 pixel. And object fit to cover. Let's move on. btn container, display flex, and flex direction is row. Look, it's in a row, this button container. Okay, justify content to center. We will center this button container and set it to the center. Okay, it's in the middle, not to the left and right. It's placed in the center. Okay, let's go for the card price. That card price, text align center, and display inline block. The card price is this one, and we set the display to inline block, because if the display is block, then it will go to the next line. But when the display is inline block, we can display it next to another item. Okay, the card price. Okay, the next one is card badge. Card badge position is absolute. This card badge is inside of this card element, and as I told you, we set the position of the card to relative. Now we can set the position of its child to absolute. Okay, top 0, right 0, a width of 440 pixel, height of 40 pixel, background color RGB, and 30. Okay, let's set the border radius to 50 pixel. We have 40 pixel for the width and 40 pixel for the height. When these are equal, this is 40 pixel and the height is 40 pixel. If we set the border radius to 50%, then we have a round shape. Okay, we can round it. We have a circle. Change the transform to translate 20 pixel and minus 20 pixel for the horizontal axis, and set the scale to 1. The scale is 1, but we want to change it in an animation. Look, the scale is 1, but it goes to less than 1 if you pay attention to this. We will make this animation together. The color is white. The font weight is bold. Text align center, and we have border 2 pixel, 2 pixel solid, and this color here. Font size is 20 pixel. Display to flex. Display is flex. Justify content to center. We are centering the element in this axis. And change the align items center. And we are centering the element in this axis. Okay? In the vertical axis. So the transition, let's add a transition for all 0.3 second for the duration and ease effect. Okay. Set the animation to scale animation. We will make this animation together. Duration is 1 second. Ease, and it's infinite. Okay, let's define the animation. Keyframe, scale animation. Okay, we are going from this transform to this 0.98. No, it's more than 1.05. We are going from this scale to this scale, and also we have to change the opacity from 0.8 to full opacity, to opacity of 1. Finally, we have a badge. We have a class for the hidden badge. Card badge dash dash hidden. Set the display to none. Display to none. Let's see, what do we have here? We have card. Let's change the button container flex direction. Display flex direction, and justify content to the center of button content. Okay, let's check the button container here. Oh yeah, it's button container. Yeah, it fixed. Okay, let's add border radius to card. Border radius 5 pixel. Yeah, the corners are round. Let's change the background of the body element. Where is the app.css? Okay, we can change the background color here. Let's change it to blue, and we have this color. and change the text color to white for all elements. Okay, nice. And the final thing, we need to add a container for the cards. Div, let's add a class name, cards dash container. Okay, let's put these cards inside of this card container. Go to the app.css and change the display to flex wrap to wrap, and justify content to center. That's what we have here. Yeah, we have these items. Of course, this is going to be displayed on mobile, but we have to take care of its sizes. Okay. Okay. Let's add a heading to here inside of these buttons. We added them for just testing purposes. Let's remove these buttons and let's add an h1 here. Order food, and add a class name here, class name to heading. Let's go to app.css and give it some style. Text align center. Let's see what we have here. Text align center, and it's fine. Okay. Next, we will add the cart button like this. You can see this is the cart component. When we add or remove, the price is changing, and that's it. Let's go for the cart component. Alright, let's go and create the cart component. Cart. We have two files here, cart.jsx and cart.css. Let's go in the cart component and type rfce I'm cart. Let's import the CSS file, import cart.css. Let's import it here. Actually, we don't need button anymore in the app file, and let's import the cart component. Cart from components, cart. Okay, let's add it below the heading. Let's see what do we have here. Yeah, this is the cart components. Let's add styling. No, let's see what we have in the cart. We have to pass the cart items from app component, and let's define it. Const cart items and set cart items. Okay, cart items and set cart items use state, and the initial value is an empty array. Okay, let's pass the cart items to the cart component. Cart items equal to cart items, and we can get this from here. Let's get cart items. Let's go back here, and we need two functions, one for adding the item to the cart and one for removing from the cart. Let's call this on add for adding the food to the cart item. Okay, we need to pass a product or food. Let's add a food here. We have to check if the food is already in the cart items or not. Let's check. We have cart items. We have to find if the x.id is equal to food.id. Okay, we are checking if the food is already in the cart items or not. Okay, let's check if exists. If this is true, it returns this food or object. If this is valid, if exists, then we have to set cart items and cart items dot map. We are mapping through this cart items x. If the x.id is equal to food.id, then we have to update this object. We have to update the food and add another property for quantity. The quantity is exist that's quantity plus 1, otherwise return x. Here we are mapping through this the foods array. We are looping through the cart items, and we are finding this one. We are finding the same food here. If it's in the cart item, we have to find it and add the quantity to it. Okay, else if it's not in the cart item, we have to set cart item to cart items and food, and set the quantity to 1. Quantity to 1. Okay, let me explain it from the first. We have a function here for adding the food to the cart item. We are checking if the food is already in the cart items or not. We're checking here. Okay, if it's already in the cart item, we find it using map method. We are checking the ID of each food in the cart items, and we're comparing the ID of each item with this food ID. Okay, we will find it and add the quantity to it, the previous quantity plus 1. Okay, if it's not in the cart items, okay, if it's not in the cart items, we are setting the cart items to the previous state and add the quantity to 1. We set the quantity to 1. Okay, because the first time we are adding an item to the cart item, it has no quantity, but the second time it has a quantity, and we are adding the previous quantity plus 1. Okay, let's pass this function to the cart item on add on add. Okay, let's get this from here on add. Okay, and we have another function for removing item from the cart. We call this on remove. It gets a food. Okay, this is the same logic. We are finding this, if this is already in the cart item or not. Okay, if exists that quantity is equal to 0, or sorry, if the quantity is equal to 1, we want to completely remove it from the cart item. Okay, set the cart item to cart items that filter. We want to completely remove it. Filter. x.id is not equal to food.id. By using this, we are mapping through the cart items, and we are returning the items that we are returning a new array that the food that we are passing to this function is not in this array. Okay, we are actually removing this food from the cart item. Okay, else it means if the quantity is more than 1, we have to set cart items to cart items that map. We have to map through the cart items and find the food that we are searching for, food.id. Okay, when we find it, we will add the previous state, but we will decrease the quantity. Quantity is equal to exist, that's quantity minus 1. We're decreasing it by 1. Otherwise, return the other items. This is we are mapping through the cart items, and we are searching for the food with the ID that we want. We have we are not modifying the other items, and we return them as they are. Okay, Let's pass this function to the cart on remove, on remove here. Okay, let's get this on remove. Okay, so let's calculate the total price. We are showing the total price here. If we add or remove, this is dynamic. Let's calculate the total price. Total price equals to cart items dot reduce. It takes A and C. A plus C dot price, multiply it by C dot quantity. Okay, just use this code to get the total price. Okay, let's go for the cart itself. We have to add a class name here, class name of cart container. Inside of it we have a conditional rendering. We are checking the cart item. That length. If the length is equal to 0, if we have no item in the cart, then we have to render this text, no items in cart. Otherwise we return an empty string. Okay, we add a line break here and add a span for showing the total price. Class name, let's add total price equal to, and add the total price here. Total price. Okay, but we have to limit this to fixed. Okay, we are limiting this number to something like this. If the total price is something like this, lots of stupid numbers after this, we're limiting this to only have 2 numbers after the dot. Okay, we're limiting this. Let's add a button. Let's import the button component. Okay, let's add a button. The title, what's the title? The title is conditional. If the cart items dot length is equal to 0, then we want to render order. Otherwise I made a mistake here. Otherwise we will render checkout. Okay. For the type is checkout. The unclick, we will add it later. Disabled. This one is conditional to if the cart items that length is equal to 0, then the button is disabled, otherwise is enabled. Okay, let's go for styling. Cart container, set display to flex, justify content to center, align items to center, margin top to 12 pixel, and total margin to 5 pixel, 15 pixel. Let's see, what do we have here? Bunch of errors. App.js line 16. Let's see what's the problem. Line 16. What's the problem? Line 40. Let's see. On which line? 16. Let me see. Oh, we have to remove these curly braces here. Okay. Nice. Okay, let's add the cart items. Let me check the total price. Okay, I have a mistake here. I have to pass these functions to the cart. Here, let's go to the cart and get this on add and on remove. Okay, let's add on add here and pass the food, and oh, the decrement we have to set it to -1, and on remove pass the food here. Okay, let's check this if it's working or not. Yeah, it's just working fine. Let's decrease it, add another item, but we have to pass the $sign. Where is the price? Okay, this is the price, and we set the $sign here. Let's check. Yeah, Okay, we have implemented the cart. Let's go for the next lesson. Alright, let's connect the web app to the Telegram bot. First thing first, we have to add this script, copy it and add this in the HTML here, index.html, before the title in the head section. Okay, we have to add this here. After adding this, let me check this. After adding this script to the index.html, we have access to this object here. Okay, let's go and after connecting the website to the Telegram API, we can use this object right here. We have access to this object, this one, window.telegram.webapp. We can use it in the app.css. Okay, let's define before this const, let's call this object to tele and window dot telegram dot web app. Okay, I'm going to use the use effect function. Use effect. After all of this component has been rendered, I want to set the tele to ready. Okay. Okay, let's create a bot. Okay, let's create a new bot here. Set my test web app bot. My test web app. Let's add some random characters here. Bots. Okay, this is my bot here. Let's close all this and add a folder called bot. Inside of it, add bot.js. Okay, we have to install a package called telegraph. npm telegraph. Let's install this package for creating our bot. Okay, let's install this. Open a new terminal and just install it. Okay, as this is installing, let's go and add a function for this button here. Let's add a function to this. Okay, let's call this on checkout, on remove, and const on checkout. Let's change the tele.main button. This main button here, this main button is this button. When I click on this, a new button from Telegram will pop up. This is the main button. Okay, let's change the text of main button to pay. Okay, and tell it that main button dot show. This will show the button. And okay, that's it. Let's pass this function to the cart. Where's the cart? Here. On checkout. Let's go to the cart and let's remove these two and add on checkout. Okay, and pass the on click here to on checkout. Okay, we are done with building the UI. Okay, the package has been installed, but before doing anything, let's deploy this UI here that we built. Let's deploy this to the internet. Okay, let's go for what's this error here? Nothing. Okay, let's go to Netlify. Let's build the project. Run npm run build to build the project. Okay, let's wait and close all this stuff, but we have to write something here for the bot itself. But for the UI, we have to upload it somewhere, like Netlify, because it's free. It's good for testing. Let's sign up. Okay, sign up using email. Let's sign up here. Go to login screen. Okay, I'm going to check my email. I will be back here. I have to verify my email. I pause the video. Alright, I've verified my email. I'm using Netlify for personal. I'm a hobby developer. It would be something else. Test project. Let's add a name. Test name. Setup and continue. Okay, here we can import the project from Git, or we can just drag and drop the output folder. What do we have here? Yeah, the build folder is creating. Okay, we will wait for it. When it's done, we have to move this folder and upload it to Netlify. Okay, let's go to this folder, project, YouTube, shopping, build. Let's add this build folder to Netlify. Okay, it's deploying my site. We have to wait. It takes a while. Your site is deployed. Okay, the site is deployed. Here's the link. Let's check it out. Yeah, this is the website, the web app. Okay, let's go for the bot itself. For connecting this bot here, let's start it. Okay, now it's not working, but we have to create a bot here. This is the Telegram API. You can just copy this and paste it here. Let's close this. We don't need this, we don't need this one. Okay, we can add something here, but before that let me import the token here. Const token equal to, I will revoke this token, so just create your own bot and token. I forget to import the telegraph. Let's import it here. Okay, let's test this if it's working or not. Let me change the directory to bot folder and then run it by node bot.js. It's not, oh, the token is required. I have to pass the token here. Okay, let's test it. Here is my bot. Start. Yeah, it's working. Let's change the text. Welcome. Let's run it another time. Yeah, it's working. So here we can pass an object here. We can add this reply using keyboard. We can have a button here, for example, web app. Oh, I have to put it in a like this. This is the text. Oh, web app. Okay, then we have to pass a web app. Let's define a website link, web link, and set it to this website that we created on Netlify. This is the link, so let's pass the link here, web link. Okay, let's run it another time. Okay, start. What happened? Web app must be an object. Oh, it has to be an object. I have to pass the URL like this. Web link. Yeah. Okay. Let's run it. Is it working or not? Yeah. It replies with a keyboard. If I click this, okay, and boom, this is the website. We have connected our web app to the Telegram API. can add, we can decrease. The price is dynamic. It's cool. Let's add items and hit the checkout. The button will be shown. Okay, let's test it another time. If the cart is empty, then we click on order. There is no pay button here, but if I add at least one item and click checkout, we have the button here. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, the Simon YouTube channel. Hope you enjoyed this video. Lots of tutorials are on the way. I see you in the next video.